Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm about to leave for Syracuse in a couple of hours, so this is going to be a little bit of a rush product. This is a fragrance I've been meaning to review for a very long time. One of my first niche scents, and honestly, it's for good reason. This is one of the most affordable niche fragrances out there in general. Online discounted, you can find this for an easy sub $100. Sometimes you'll find it sub 80. I bought this bottle for 66 bucks off of, I think, Forever Lux on eBay. Authentic eBay retailer, by the way. And this is a very popular niche scent. A lot of people start with this. It is Mancera. This is Cedrat Boise. And for those of you out there curious, this is a 2020 batch. I don't know if you can see it. Let it focus somewhere. I can't tell. As you can see though, I have worn a good chunk of the bottle. It's about 80 mils left, I would say. About these are 4 ounce or 120 milliliter bottles, and because it is before the reformulation in terms of the caps, this is not magnetic. It's a screw cap like the older Mancera style bottles. This one is metallic. I'll waste the spray in the air here. Decent sprayer, not the best. But why this is so popular is because this was compared to Creed Aventus for such a long time. If you want a fruitier take on Aventus, you want more juice, you want better value, dollars per milliliter, and you want a very versatile, easygoing scent that can be done for any type of occasion, any purpose, any guy, in my opinion, could really rock this. This is one of the easiest recommendations anybody could give anybody. I guess the real question is it overhyped? Because this has been reviewed to death. This has a big cult following behind it, especially the older formulations of Cedrat Boise. It's starting to fall under the Aventus hell, where everyone is searching for these older batches because they prefer the performance of the older batch, the scent style. I have a 2020 batch. I'm completely fine with this. There is no pineapple in here, but it is very fruity. That water lily note in the mid, you will get a little bit. There's a faint floral aquatic touch. Base is full of cedar and musk. I don't really get a lot of the vanilla at the base. This is very fruity, woody, fresh, a tad bit watery, but it is a very strong performer. Not a beast. I get about 9 to 10 hours worth of longevity. Projection is strong for the first 3 hours off of my skin. I know some people claim they get 12 plus. If they do, that's awesome. I still get really good performance. I'm not mad. And honestly, if this was really potent, it wouldn't be as versatile as the juice in here is, because any more performance might make it a little too overbearing to be worn in formal situations, because it is very fruity, very loud. It is niche with the designer appeal. I wouldn't say it's the highest quality fragrance out there. It is a Mancera after all, so they're very affordable in terms of the niche market. It's not a knock on them, but there are high quality fragrances out there. But if you're looking to dip your toe in the world of niche, like I said with Bob from the Marley Layton, this is one of the greatest ways to start in the niche realm of fragrances. I bought it in October 2020, so 2.5 years. I've had, yeah, 2.5 years is about right. One of my most complimented fragrances out there. I talked about it in my review for Layton. Layton's my most complimented fragrance. This is my second most complimented fragrance. And when I talk about compliments, this is going to be with people that I really know. I've had a couple unsolicited compliments in the past, don't get me wrong, but you are not going to get those as much as compliments from people that are already familiar with you or comfortable with you, in terms of saying like, oh, you smell nice, what are you wearing? Oh, the fragrance you're wearing or the cologne you're wearing smells fantastic, what are you wearing? That's only going to be asked for the most part by people that are familiar with you. So do not expect unsolicited compliments all the time, but with the people you are familiar with, this is one of the better compliment getters out there. With my question before, is this overhyped? I would say just a little bit. Just a little bit. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people talk about how this is one... Oh, pouch, by the way. A lot of people talk about how this is like an Aventus killer, which at least in terms of newer batches of Aventus that I've smelled and I'm familiar with, I would actually say so. It is a newer Aventus killer. But when you start comparing it to the smoky batches or the balanced batches with both sweetness, fruitiness, and the smokiness, there's nothing smoky about this. There's nothing overtly dark about this fragrance. A lot of people claim you don't really need a bottle of old Aventus or newer Aventus for that matter. More so new Aventus if you have this fragrance. I would agree to some extent. If you want Aventus, you want something that smells like Aventus, just get Aventus. Nothing's wrong with it. I just don't justify the price, and batch hunting on these balanced or smoky batches, good luck, because they are charging outrageous prices on eBay and other online discount sellers that actually have older batches of Aventus. If you're talking about a newer batch of Aventus that started getting really fruity, that's when the gray area starts to really come in. And I think, in my opinion at least, this is a great alternative and a great replacement for newer formulations of Aventus. But if you are seeking an older style of Aventus, just get an older batch of Aventus, pony up the extra money. It's an experience worth having, an experience that I want to try one day. And obviously I do not have the type of money to go out there and get a full bottle of an older bottle of Aventus, but find samples if you can. And the only other reason I say this is overhyped is because it's a jack of all trades, master of none. Even though this works for any occasion, it doesn't really do one really well. Like, you could wear this to a formal event, you could wear it for errands, you could wear it for work, for school, working out, pretty much anything. But like jack of all trades, master of none, it is a very familiar scent profile out there, number one, but you will smell unique enough to get people to ask you, oh, what are you wearing? Oh, you smell good. There's just enough out there. It's different enough to get that type of compliment, but this is not the most unique thing out there. Obviously, if you're wearing fragrances, you're already ahead of the pack in terms of trying to be different compared to other people, because a lot of people out there do not wear fragrances. I've gifted fragrances to friends and they have like their own little collections here and there, but if you're looking to elevate your collection, this is one of those stepping stones and a fragrance you should try, in my opinion. It's not the greatest fragrance out there, but for what it is, how much you pay for it, what you can do with it, it is one of the best value fragrances out there. So that's where I'm gonna put this. This is arguably the greatest value fragrance ever, especially when you could find it around that $65 range. If you could find it for under 80 bucks, have not tried the fragrance, is blind buy safe enough. If you like fruity fragrances, aquatic florals, you like a woody base, and you want something a little different with good performance, it's a safe blind buy in my opinion. Hopefully you like the review, a little bit of a different type of review, because I wanted to get the point across that, albeit a little overhyped, it is still well worth being in your collection, or at least worth you checking out and trying out to see if it works for you. That's all I want to get across is Cedrat Boise 12 years later? 12 years later, it's still worth it in my opinion. And even if you get a 2020 batch, you get a newer batch with those magnetic caps, it's okay because it's jack of all trades. Get your toes wet in the deep end of the niche realm. It's not the most unique or most high class fragrance out there, but it'll give you an idea of what to expect in terms of quality, performance, scent profile, all these other factors that come into the fragrance world when you start paying more and start going into the realm of niche. I'm not a niche snob. I understand the appeal for niche. I prefer niche over designer, and some designer fragrances have niche appeal. Some niche fragrances have designer appeal. This is one of those fragrances, or that is a niche fragrance with designer appeal, but in my opinion, it's just different enough that it's good. The price for it is fantastic. I would not pay more than $100 for it personally. If you could find it under 80, it's a fantastic grab. So hopefully you like the review. Comment down below if you have Cedrat Boise. If your opinion differs from mine, let me know in the comment section. Subscribe to my content for future content. I fucked up. Subscribe to my channel for future content. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.